what Mark just mentioned, this is Nito Botvac, which came from, I know a guy, and actually my old one had a bad wheel, so I got a refurbished one, and this one is not warranty violated, so I didn't dig into it to get the power. I'm getting the power on the Pi off this, and what I did is,
don't open it, you don't own it.
yeah. But I decided that I really like it as a vacuum cleaner too, so I can use it as a vacuum cleaner.
Later. That's good. That's good. I like that.
As a matter of fact, it's the only robot that my wife really tolerates.
Oh my word! Here, say that
Anyway,
again.
so the thing is, right now it is actually seeing and measuring an obstacle, and it was kind of interesting because what I'm doing is I'm integrating. My original goal when I first started coming to this club, which was around 11 years ago, I started coming regularly, was a robot that worked like Snap-on tools. Means you had a robot that could roll around the house, but you put the mop on it, you put the vacuum on it, you take the laundry to the washing machine attachment on it, and would do all those things. Now, that's great. We know how to do that with hardware. It's a lot harder doing it with software. Now with ROS, we have software Snap-on tools. I've integrated RaspiCam on this guy. I've started with the Ubiquity image, downloaded the Intro to ROS code, which Ralph Knock wrote for us a couple years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And I plugged it in. The only thing I had to do to make everything start working together is a model of the robot, a URDF. And fortunately, I know a guy who knows how to do that. So, because it has quaternions in it, and I was absent that day at school. And when they added the fourth one, anyway, so I first started, I got voice, our Ubiquity voice commander to work, and I said, robot, go forward 1 meter, and it came back and said, I can't do that because there's an obstacle in the way.
Awesome.
And it turns out the obstacle was these bars over here.
Excellent.
Now, I would like to demonstrate voice, but for some reason at Google, voice to Google doesn't appear to work very well, but I'll try to demonstrate it anyway. So I'm going to, arrow keys work. Stop. Halt. Halt.
At least it's not armed.
Unfortunately, it's not. It's just not recognizing voice. Help. That's just not. It's listening, but it's not recognizing my voice. But unfortunately, I can't demo what I want to demo. The arrow keys work fine, but it's not picking up any of my voice commands. I don't know why. It does it fine at home. It doesn't do it at David's house. It did it fine at some other locations. Somebody at Google can explain to me why Google Voice doesn't work at Google.
It's probably the network between here and Google.
Yeah,
It's a long way to Google. Oh,
well,
wait.
what's happening is I'm Wi-Fi access point to here, but 4GL to the rest of the world, and if the 4GL is not listening.
These buildings are pretty well shielded.
Yeah, so that's probably what it is. But anyway, it would be kind of cool to actually see that when it says, you know, what it'll say, the specific thing, if I remember right, is movement aborted because of an obstacle in the path.
Wow.
It'll actually come back with that indicative code. I wish we could do it so it said, I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that.
Well, you'd have to change it to Alan, but yeah.
But the thing is, right now, I've added the camera, and I can do the fiducial follow if I have the camera rotation right. And it's with the, and I've been talking to Camp about this because he's been struggling. When we first did introduction to ROS, it was just when the Raspberry Pi 3 came out, and they didn't have a 1604 stable Ubuntu image. And of course, Ross Kinetic only works with 1604. So the only thing that we found at the time, 2 years ago, was the Mate version. And the Mate version has a huge desktop that takes a lot of space up. Since then, our main guy, Rohan, figured out the Ubuntu, which is a low graphics overhead version, is a lot leaner. I think it saves like 2 gig off the image.
Probably.
And he also further enhanced it by this neat piece of code called Pi-Fi, which makes networking super easy. Right now, at home, it finds my home network, and I can go to my home network. Here, it doesn't find my home network, so I can actually find it on my phone as a Wi-Fi access point and go right into it.
So I was also using Pi-Fi to talk to that little box in the corner. So again, thanks to Ubiquiti for the components, and Rohan in this case.
I will comment that the guy who did that,
Rohan.
the Mate release,
Oh, sorry.
did some really nice community development there. And he created something called Ubuntu Flavors, which is the recipe for how to build your own release. Okay, and using that recipe, Rohan was able to build a smaller image.
Nice.
So it's the beauty of open source software.
I wasn't slamming Mate.
No,
Just-
no.
It was what was available at the
Watch
time.
out, watch out.
Thank you.
Yeah.